Hello everybody, how are you all? I hope you are doing great. So welcome back to you all in my YouTube channel. In the series of the lecture, we will be completing the entire syllabus of class 6 Science and CRT. So today we are going to discuss about the chapter 4 Science and CRT, that is sorting material into groups. So let us begin our chapter. Yes, first you need to tell me what you guys see in your surrounding. You can see sofa, chair, football, clock, dirt, your teddy bear, your soft toys, your coffee mug, utensils which is used in the kitchen. So you can see them, you can feel them. So what are these? They are object. Anything which can be seen or felt are called object. An object is made up of matter. Okay, the thing which we all use in our daily life are called object. And how it is made up of? It is made up of with a very small unit particle which is called the matter. Like you have read the fiber to fabric chapter, and in fiber to fabric chapter, what is the basic unit of the fabric? That is the fiber. So like fiber, here the basic unit of the object is matter. Okay, matter is the basic unit of the object. So how you will define the object? The thing which you all can see, which you all can feel, is called the object. They are having the particular space, particular size, shapes, color, texture. So that's why they are known as a object. Now we will discuss more about the objects. So object around us. Objects are made up of one or more materials. Okay. So if I will take example of your toys. Suppose you have a remote control car. So maybe it is made up with the plastic, it is made up with the metals and some more materials. Okay. One material can be used to make different types of object. If I will take the example of the plastic or rubber, so with the help of the plastic we can make many things. Okay. It may be man-made or naturally occurring. Okay. The objects can be made man-made like toys, like a luxurious car, sofa, chair, which is man-made. And if we get coal, okay, we get some metals, so they are the natural. Material is a substance which is used to make different objects. So what is material? Let us discuss in detail. Okay, what are the materials? First we should know, because first we have done the discussion of the object which is made up with the matter, and now we are going to talk about the materials. What are the materials? The things which we all use in our daily life are made up of different types of materials. Okay, your sofa is made up with the different types of material. Sponges are there, fabrics are there, leathers are there, metals are there. So it is made up with the more than two objects. Okay, so all these materials have mass, shapes and are classified based on many criteria. It has many criteria including their physical state, properties of material, etc. So we can categorize, we can group any object after watching it carefully. What is the texture of the object, what is the color of the object, and what kind of material is used to make this objects. Okay. Now if I am going to talk about the properties of material, so what is the meaning of properties? Properties means the quality of the material. Okay. So based on the different properties, material can be differentiated into their respective groups, and especially they are in three groups. Okay, solid, liquid and gas. As you know, any objects is divided into three categories, which is solid, liquid or gas. It can be solid, it can be liquid and it can be gas also. Now here some general properties of material. It can be further classified by seeing the appearance of the given object. Suppose I have given you your toy, okay, your remote control car. So after watching the appearance, how it looks, after touching it, after feeling it, you can tell that what kind of material is used to make this toy, okay. The appearance of material varies in color, texture, hard, soft and luster. So we can differentiate any object with the help of many categories like colors, texture, how it looks, whether it is hard or soft, and whether it is having luster or not. What is the meaning of the luster? Luster means shiny. If it is having the shiny surface, it is called the lustrous object. If it is not having the shiny surface, it means it is called the non-lustrous object. So material can be divided into colors. Like this, you can see many colorful bottles in the picture. Texture, you can see the surface of the object, whether it is rough or smooth. You can see the hardness. If we'll take the example of the cricket ball, if you are going to press it, it will be difficult to press, okay. So that is why it is hard. And softness, if we'll take the example of the sponge ball, okay, it is very soft to press. Now luster, it can be, object can be divided into the lustrous and non-lustrous object. Like if I will take the example of the spoon and fork, so what happened, you can see a picture in the spoon, okay. So because it is having a shiny surface, that is why it is a lustrous object. And if the thing is not having the shiny surface, so it is called the non-lustrous. Like take the example of the graphite. So graphite is non-lustrous because it is not having the shiny surface, okay. So that is a non-lustrous object. Now discuss in detail. Let us talk about more, okay. So the third criteria used to sort the material are based on their solubility. So we can further divide objects into two groups, whether it is soluble or insoluble. The solubility depends on soluble and insoluble material in water. For example, salt and sugar are soluble in water. Chalk and sand are insoluble in water. You did many activities in your junior classes, okay, soluble and insoluble. So we can take a glass, we can add some water and we can pour some water, we can add some salt or sugar. After mixing it, after stirring it, we can see that the salt and the sugar is going to completely dissolve. It means it is a soluble substance. And when we are going to add some sand or chalk into the water, so what happened, after stirring it, it is not going to dissolve. So it is the sand, the chalk is called the insoluble things, okay. So we can divide any objects further into insoluble or soluble things. Now the fourth criteria used to sort the material is based on the material, that whether it is metallic or non-metallic, like iron, copper, gold. These are the examples of the metallic things, and coal, chalk, rubber are the example of the non-metals or non-metallic things. If you will take the example of the nail, which is used to make furniture and all, iron nail, it is a metallic, it is made up with the iron, so it is a metals. Coal is metal or non-metal? Yes, absolutely right, it is non-metal, okay. Now if I am going to take the example of the metal and non-metal object, so your pencil is the best example, okay. So at the end of the pencil you can see there is a rubber which is wrapped by a thin metal, okay. So in the pencil, at the bottom of the pencil, you can see the eraser which is wrapped with the metal, okay. This metal will help to attach rubber into the pencil, okay. Now we will see that the fifth criteria used to sort the material is based on the light transmission through objects, okay. which includes opaque, translucent and transparent. We can further categorize material based on their transmission of light. Okay, so which is further differentiate into three groups: transparent, translucent and opaque objects. So what is transparent? Transparent materials that allows the light to pass through it, like glass and water. We can see clearly with the glass. Okay, so here is the wine glass. You can see from the wine glass in both sides, okay, equally, because it allows, the glass allows the light to pass through it. That is why it is called the transparent. Transparent means the visibility from the object is very clear. It's like your window, like your rear mirror of the car. Okay, so these all are the made up with the glass, so that we can see, okay, what is happening inside and outside. Now we'll talk about the translucent. What is translucent? So material that are partially allow light to pass through it. Okay, it is not very visible like the transparent. It is like a blur image we can see from it. So you can take an example of the butter paper. If you will see with the help of the butter paper, you cannot see the things clearly as much as like transparent objects. Okay, so we can see the blur image, so it is called the translucent. Okay, like colored glass also, with the colored glass we cannot see the things properly as like the plain glass. Now opaque objects. What are the opaque objects? The material which do not allow light to pass through it, which completely do not allow, but in the translucent partially it allows the light. Okay, and in transparent it completely allows the light, and in opaque, what is the big difference between transparent and opaque? In transparent they completely allow the light to pass through it, and in opaque material do not allow, they completely do not allow the light to pass through it. Okay, like cardboard and wood, we cannot see anything from the cardboard and wood, okay, inside and outside. So that is why it is opaque. So it is very simple to learn that the mirror glass, okay, your window and all, okay, your glass, your glassware crockeries and all, so these all are made up with the glass, and that is why it is a transparent. So the transparent things like polythene sheet also, which is transparent, so we can see from the transparent sheet and all. So that's why this is a very visible, and that is why it comes in the category of the transparent things. So in transparent objects we can see the things clearly, in translucent objects we can see the blur image, and in opaque we cannot see the image. Okay, so this is all about the three categories, okay, of the material based on their light transmission. Now we'll discuss about the material can be differentiated from each other based on their looks also. So some material like diamond and gold are shiny is termed as lustrous material. It is further divided into two categories, which is, I told you, lustrous and non-lustrous. So by looking we can observe them whether it is shiny or not. If the surface of the object is shiny, so it is known as a lustrous material, and if the surface of the object is not shiny at all, so it is called a non-lustrous object. So ornaments like gold, silver, okay, they are the diamond, they are all the lustrous materials, and like graphite, okay, and wood, they are called the non-lustrous because they don't have the shiny surface. Clear? Now we will talk about how we can further classify the materials. Okay, so materials can be differentiated from each other based on their hardness and softness. We can further divide the objects, okay, according to their hardness and softness by touching it. Okay, So material that can be compressed or deformed easily are referred to as soft substance. The things, the objects which we can press easily. Okay. So it is called the soft substance. And whereas material that are difficult to bend or press or compress easily, and it is very difficult, very hard to compress, is called as the hard substance. Okay, clear? Till here you all are having any doubt or not? Okay, now we are going to talk about some more classification, like material can be classified based on sinking of floating in water. Okay, so some of the material we can further classify it whether it can be sink or float. So if we are going to classify the material according to their sink or float property, so leaf is the best example. Okay, you can see whether you have seen or not, I don't know, but if you see the pond, okay, so in pond what happened, have you seen the lotus? You might have seen lotus flower. So it is floating on the surface, top of the surface of the water along with their leaves. So it is the example of the floating objects. And if we will take a metal spoon, okay, and we are going to put the metal spoon into the bowl or whatever container you have, so what you will observe, after putting it, it will sink. So the spoon will not float. So we can further divide the things into two groups, that is float and sink. Now we will discuss the gist of the chapter. Okay, so how are material grouped? Because we have done a lot of discussion about the grouping of the material, how we can arrange the objects, how we can sort out the objects. So how are material grouped? The material which are similar in one or two ways can be put in one group. So how we can categorize the objects? If the objects is made up with one or two ways, it can be put in one group. So why do we need to classify the things, or need for classification? Classification makes everything easier and orderly for better understanding. How are material classified? Material are classified based on similarities in their properties such as appearance, hardness, transparency, solubility or density. Okay. Now we will discuss about why do we need to group objects, why it is needed to group the objects. So we need to group object for a number of reasons. We have a number of reasons to group the objects. Because it is convenience to store. We often group objects in order to store similar objects together in order to make locating them easier in the future. Even in our homes, we store spices together in kitchen. Okay, while sorting, washing the products in our bathroom, you have seen that your mama is used to keep the things into the transparent jar in the kitchen, so that the mama can take the things which is desired, okay, easily without opening the lid of the jar. And in the bakery shop also, they used to keep the things in the transparent jar, so that you can pick out your desired things from the jar, okay, without opening it. So this is very convenient for us to pick out the selected thing which we want easily without much delay. And it is convenience to study also. We also group objects so that it becomes easy for us to study their features as well as patterns of these features. Like if you are going to arrange your cupboards, so you will arrange your cupboards by arranging your clothes. Like party wear clothes, you will arrange in a one shelf. Regular cloth you will arrange in the one shelf, and woolen cloths you will arrange in the one shelf, because it is only used in the winter season. So it is very easy for you to pick out the desired cloth which you want according to the need. Okay, so that's why it is very convenient for us to group the things, to categorize the thing, to sort the things. Okay, now we'll talk about what is classification, because we have done a lot of discussion. We are classified this, we are classified that. So what is classification actually? So classification is a method of grouping in which we place similar things together in one group. Okay, if we are going to place similar thing in a one group, so it is very easy for us, it is very handy for us to pick the desired thing. Examples: arrangement of books in a library is an examples of the classification. It's a best example of the classification, to arrange your books in the library. So you can see in the library that the things are arranged in the shelf according to their section. Suppose Hindi books is kept, it is arranged in the particular section, in the Hindi section, and the English book arranged in the English section. So that you can pick out what subject or which book you want from the particular section. Okay, so this is the use of the classification. Now we will discuss about advantage of the classification. It helps in identification of the objects, it helps in sorting of the objects, it helps in locating things, and it makes study of different objects. So classification is very important for us to make our life easy. Okay, so we can by the arranging the things, we can locate the things easily, we can sort out the things easily, we can identify them easily. Okay, and we can study them easily. So with this, guys, we come to an end of the chapter. I hope you will like this video. If yes, please do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Bye bye, take care. Thank you for watching this video.